Hi, it's Kevin Thomas Morgan here. I send out a weekly newsletter on a Thursday morning early Eastern Standard Time, and I thought it might be a good idea to record these newsletters as a YouTube video. You may find it of interest. This one is about how I never intended to write a novel. My friend Eric in England said for several years, "Kevin, you've got a novel in you." Turned out Eric was right. Here he is with Sybil, his beloved goshawk. Since leaving my scientific research career back in 2010, I've been studying the art of writing. After publishing about 10 non-fiction books on various topics, I gave in to Eric's persistence and embarked on my first novel. I had no idea what to write about, so I started with the premise, write what you know. I found myself detailing personal experiences, the challenges I faced with difficult bosses and insider politics, and the novel started to grow. Then one fine day, one of the characters did something unexpected, sure surprised me, so I let him go on with his story. I just typed and wondered what was coming next. The book, The Scientist in the Dark, was born. The other characters also had their say. In fact, Jamie lectured me on not putting enough effort into seeing my kids and grandkids. What a cheek. But she was right, so I closed the computer and gave them a call. In the end, the whole thing came together with a little help from online writing courses. These included the Masters series, where I listened to lectures by Malcolm Gladwell, Margaret Atwood, Neil Gaiman, and other great writers I admire, plus reading plenty of books on writing. My favorite was Nobody Wants to Read Your Shit by Stephen Pressfield. Turned out that was close to the truth. I also learned from John Grisham and personal experience that it is easier to write a book, though easy it is not, than it is to sell a book. So I took and am continuing to take book marketing courses. As P.T. Barnum said, if you don't promote, something terrible happens, nothing. From time to time I ask myself, why do I write? The answer is always the same, because I really care about reducing animal abuse and fighting climate change. These are the underlying foundations of my first novel and of the one I'm currently writing. I guess it's my way of trying to make a contribution. Outside of writing, when it comes to animal abuse and climate change, I attempt to walk the walk, so to speak. This I've described in a short autobiographical account of my current lifestyle, which is available on Amazon as an ebook. Not just talk, fighting climate change one tiny house and victory garden at a time. I'm so glad I undertook the life of a writer, even though it forced me to live in my garden shed for over 6 years. The life of a writer is totally difficult and satisfying. You might consider it for a lark. So let me know what you want to know about my work, or anything else for that matter. And consider supporting all the writers out there by writing reviews. It really does help. I do now. Since becoming a writer, I do it for every book I read. So, what did I learn during this process of writing my first novel? And the second one is well on the way now. They say writing the first novel is exciting, but hard. But the second one is really hard to start. And I found that was true, because you put a lot of effort into the first one. But I did learn a number of things. One, I learned a lot about myself. Two, you don't want the book to be on rails. You don't need to know where it's going. And the best way to do that is just to let the story tell itself. So I watched in my mind my characters, and they would do things that surprised the hell out of me. And it made a good story, and the very end of that novel totally surprised me. I had no idea where it was going. Another important thing is to read well to write well, and learning how to write is a constant process of improvement, and it also improves your enjoyment of good writing. And finally, get the right software. I ended up using Vellum software. I think it's at vellum.org. and that takes a lot of the work out of formatting. Even the paperback is automatically formatted. You just have to work hard on the cover. And finally, John Grisham is right. It's much harder to sell a book than it is to write a book. And I'll tell you, writing a book is a labor of love. So that's it. Over and out from Kevin Thomas Morgan of inspirationalselfhelpbooks.com. And thank you for your attention. Bye.